JD, you're normally pretty shy, so let's see if someone else wants to do it. All right, Wendell, help us out here.
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
Legacies worth leaving. Thank you, Wendell. Great job there. All right, and then our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers. Our value is God, family, then business. God, family, then business. Our belief system is win-win or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much before we talk. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. And our perspective is we're a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents and buyers and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a training consultant, and focuses all of its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. Yeah, baby, that is a great perspective. All right, we have a lot to do today, so we're going to try to go through these announcements quick. We have a lot of guests. We've got the RPA in front of you. If you don't have a copy of it, I have a couple extra pieces. We'll get to that in just a second. But September 10th, next week, guys, we have our Cappers Party. Woo! Who's going? Hey, you guys, by the way, you're all invited. You should all be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We just ask that you RSVP because we have limited space. All right, who's going to have too many drinks and get on the mechanical bull? All right, that's going to be a lot of fun.
I need to put 2 hands up.
We're going to have you sign a waiver. We are not held responsible for any drunk mechanical bull riding. Just so you guys know, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. It's cowboy night, so wear your best cowboy outfit. It's fair time anyway, so just what you couldn't wear to the fair, bring it over to the party. We'll have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun celebrating our cappers. We have a special gift for the cappers. This is a bring your spouse event. It'll be a lot of fun, but it is limited space, so when you run out of space, shucks out of luck. So make sure you RSVP to reserve your spot, okay? Our Halloween decoration contest. All right, so it's starting at the beginning of October, not September, Victoria, who's already wanting to decorate. We're going to do our spectacular celebration. Show us your best office or desk space. Decor for a chance to win prizes. And we're going to have a little vote to see who did the best job. So if you have an office, if you have a cubicle, and if you want to participate and you don't have one of those things, we have 3 conference rooms. We have other cubicles that you could participate in if you would like. Let's have a lot of fun with this. And then on October 28th, we'll have costumes. It'll be a fun day. I think because Halloween's on
Sunday.
It's on Sunday, right? So we're going to do it on the Fridays, a little event, and have some fun, guys. So keep your eye out for that. And we'll see who the best. My money is kind of on Ileana because she does a good job every year. But Victoria's pretty hardcore, so we'll see.
Oh, no, that's a challenge.
That's a challenge. I mean, I didn't throw it out in front of everybody, Ileana. But, save the date, guys. December 17th. We know a lot's going on during that time. We're having our Candy Cane Christmas party. December 17th at the Rancho Vista Golf Course. It'll be a very nice event, as it always is. But please save the date now. All right. Shauna.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's get on track up here. Come on track. Let's give away some gift cards.
Yes, so you guys, if you haven't, hello Zoom land. No pictures again. Where'd everybody go?
Well, they jumped on and then they were like, my makeup's not ready. And
So the price is right. We're going to show you guys a few houses that have sold within the last 2 weeks. The closest to the actual sell price wins a gift card. You cannot go over. So let's get started.
And no cheating.
We have it. Oh,
Get off your phones.
There's pens and paper. Everybody have something?
You want to be in control?
So, you got it.
Okay.
So then once you have the price, hold it up. So our first one today, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Is West Lancaster, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, built in 1978, 1,471 square feet.
It's your nice standard track home in West Lancaster. That's a tough one. Remember, this is closed in the last 2 weeks, and no KW agents were involved.
How do you know?
And closed in the last 2 weeks?
Closed in the last 2 weeks. 14 days of closing. Let's see some pictures in here. Ooh, it's a nice backyard.
Updated inside,
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
hardwood flooring,
I like those. like those cabinets. Nice, look at, they opened up that wall.
Wait,
It's
wait,
like
I
two.
don't know the price.
Yeah.
I have.
All right, let's see those prices. What do we got here?
420.
Got $4.99, $2.98, $4.38, $5.59.
Yeah,
415, 424.
425, 430,
We got it in Zoom.
460.
A lot of 425s. 430, 450. We all got it up?
Are you ready?
99, we got everyone's going over.
Which one?
99 cents.
99 cents. He knows how to play
Yeah,
Price
he's
is
in
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And our actual retail price is $420 exactly? 420, we got two winners, 420, 420. 419, you're, oh, so close. 420.
430.
We got two winners. George and Mr. Ken Mitchell.
Gracias.
Woo! Ken, you won a couple weeks ago too, didn't you?
It must be that vacation we just got back from.
All right.
Swimming with sharks.
East Lancaster, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, built 2012, 2617 square feet.
Ooh.
You said what, was this West Lancaster?
East Lancaster, East Lancaster.
East Lancaster.
You gotta get in this. You can win your free
Am I
coffee.
updated,
Go back to the detail.
clean?
East Lancaster, 4 plus 3,
It's 2,600.
26 and some change.
Built 2012.
Two-story home, two-car garage.
You know how I know it's built 2012? Because they have 4 solar panels on the top of it. Is that the picture's white or is it,
No, I think that's.
it's just the color came up? Yeah, that's
Everything
nice.
is white and in the house, it's like a light colored carpeting.
All right, let's see those numbers. Come on, guys. We got
All right,
410,
what do we got in
497,
Zoom?
505,
Zoom.
510, 440, 465, 480, 470.
Let me hear you guys here.
535.
450.
535.
That's what I get for it. That's what I get for it.
Okay, what is it, Mike?
All right, actual retail price. Here we go.
Better be in the.
473. 473. What do we got? 465? 465?
So far, we got 465 on
I think it's
Zoomers. How about you?
Sold by a loser.
475 and went over.
If it was a KW, you would have got 520.
All right. Was it Gail?
Gail, we got Gail's the winner. Great job, Gail.
Good job, Gail. Nice, nice.
All right, our last one for today.
All right, here's our last one, West Lancaster, 3 plus 3. Almost 1,300 square feet. Built in 93, two-story home, two-car garage. Here we go.
That's interesting.
Nice flooring.
A small 2-story.
Got a shed in the back.
You got a lot of yard space with that 2-story, taking up a lot of.
You can put a pool. Okay, what's the numbers?
460.
445.
429. 525.
435.
425. Wow, we're all over the place.
449.
Zoomers, where are you?
467.
460.
460.
All right. Show it to us.
Actual retail price is. Was it 90? Was it dollar printed?
Must have been a rematch agent.
Who was it?
350 on Zoom. There was 390. Larry at 390.
Only 390.
25th West.
We had 390 on Zoom. I think it's Larry. We had a 390 on Zoom. Nobody beat 390?
All right.
Larry gets it.
390. There you go, Larry's in Zoom land. So it'll be in your mailbox. Yep, he gave you a thumbs up.
He's got it. He'll take that.
All right.
Good job,
Can
Larry.
you see your face? Larry, put your camera on.
He did earlier. He was waving earlier.
He might be in his jammies.
Okay. This last
Always
one.
hit
That's it.
nerves.
All
All
right.
right, thank you, On Track Escrow. As always, we super appreciate you guys coming in and making this fun to start. All right, so we're gonna have Mike come up real quick and talk about a new service that he's gonna be heading up here to help you guys find leverage in your business when you need it. So, Mike, I'll let you have that and take it away. Give it a round for Mike. Hey, doesn't he look handsome with that that jacket on?
You
Take off the shirt.
El profesor.
Thanks. I mean, I think most of you guys know who I am, you know what I do here. I've always been the
I don't know,
tech
Mike,
guy.
who are you? There's new people here.
Always been the tech guy, tech support, that kind of stuff. Around here, I've done all kinds of, different things around here, the last few years that I've been around. So now we're launching KW Your Way, which is gonna be tech, design, and marketing services, a la carte services and package services that we're going to offer. Part of that is gonna include things like Facebook ads. So, one of the things that agents, you guys are able to do is set up Facebook ads, but what if you're just too busy to do that, or it's too hard for you to do that, or you just don't know how to, how to get around it, or what the best processes are, or what it even looks like.
Or my listing sells too fast and I should have done it, but I just didn't do it.
Yeah, so, for a, as a service, what I'll offer is I will take the ad from you, I will run it for you, I'll set it up, and, under your own command account, so that in the end, you'll see the progress and you'll get all the leads and you'll see how it's doing over time. Here's an example of one I ran a few weeks ago for Becky. Only 10 days running time. Within those 10 days, I received 300, over 3,100 impressions. What that means is how many times it popped up on Facebook on someone's screen, and it was like off on the side, or it was like kind of in the middle of the screen. I'm sure you guys have probably seen that all the time if you're on Facebook. You see all these ads come up all the time. That's an impression. This one actually did pretty well. Averaged about 40 cents per lead, total of 63 leads in that time. For only $25 for the ad budget. So
Whoa.
you can see.
That's
Whoa.
actually really good.
Whoa. 63 leads? How many of you guys pay for Zillow?
1,000.
How much do you pay a month for 10 leads? It's like thousands of dollars.
Right, 1,500 on the.
It's the same quality of lead, guys. Anyway, sorry, Mike, that's just so good I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what these things can do once they're they're set up and running, and basically what their potential can be, because you get all these leads, they're good quality leads straight from Facebook. You get them straight into command, and I can even show you guys where they go afterwards, so you can see what they are and contact these people and right away.
So these include phone numbers and emails?
It'll include phone numbers and email addresses.
What?
Right.
And their names, of course.
Can you put land listings on there too?
Yeah, you can, Facebook ads, they will be for, residential properties like this, for lots of land, for getting buyer leads, promoting open houses or other events. So they're kind of, they'll be pretty flexible, and I'll offer these three, different options for these ads. So that's one thing there, one service I'll be offering. Another would be setting up landing pages. So these will actually go in conjunction with they'll work together with the Facebook ads, as just like a nice high quality little custom website about that property. This is for a listing, of course. Featuring the listing and include all the photos, details, and everything coming over from the actual MLS listing.
So you're basically building a website for their listing.
Yep.
Very good.
Mhm. Yep. And here's an example of kind of what it looks like. Another thing would be things like this, flyers and social media graphics. So a lot of us, and I've seen a lot, just the struggle of throwing something together, making it look good, printing it out, making sure it comes out right on nice paper, things like that. That's something that I can handle for you guys. This nice high quality professional flyers printed on really nice paper, things like that, as another service that I'll be able to offer. And the same thing over on the right, it's a social media graphic, something that you can take, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, things like that, just already ready to go.
Is that included in the $25?
So this will
Maybe
be,
1,000.
this will all be separate. These will all be separate services, separate prices, which, if you go to kwyourway.net, kind of see it down in the corner, that's the website that I've set up for this. Another thing as well, and I've done a lot of these over the years, but, you know, just even like custom email signatures, you know, be able to set something up for, you know, for you guys as well, things like that. I gotta put my art degree to some kind of use, so here's one, here's a justification for that. And coming pretty soon as well, I'll be offering a complete listing package, which is gonna include things like adding the listing directly to the MLS, Gabar, by the way, Gabar or Flex MLS, providing those, you know, high quality flyers, direct mail postcards, setting up the Facebook ad to run with this, again, the social media graphics, email blasts, and much more, as just, you know, one, you know, price package.
Mike, on this package here, will you be, coming up with the marketing details as well, or is that something we have to provide to you?
Yeah, absolutely, actually, good thing you, good question. Yeah, something that I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot is, you know, coming up with the marketing remarks or just things like that, you know, that just eat up a lot of time and, you know, just knowing what to come up with, that I would take over. You know, so for
Take my
like
money.
the MLS, so only thing I would, for example, for like the MLS entry, only thing I would ask for is the basic information up front, and I'll have a form that I would send to whoever wants the, you know, an MLS entry for, you know, added for them. And it's gonna be a form, just ask all the basic information, just things that I wouldn't know.
Right.
And I'll take that and get started, send me the photos, the video, all that kind of stuff. I'll handle the marketing remarks and anything else like that, and, you know, get it up and running.
Awesome.
And, so, you know, just a couple things we have coming up here. I'm pretty excited about all this. It's gonna be something, you know, totally new, but, you know, just a step up from
Awesome.
a lot of what I've been doing here in the last few years. Yeah.
Where's your pricing?
Pricing is gonna be on the website, kwyourway.net. It is live, you guys can go there, check it out. Do have a services page with a few of these services already set up there, ready to go. Information about, you know, more information about each service is in there as well. Pricing and all that is gonna be on there. And yeah, there's my number, email address, and, you know, I'm always here in the office running around, just know where to catch me.
So I guess I'll ask since no one's asking,
Yeah.
right? So that way they get the information. So what's the turnaround time once, if I'm an agent and I'm wanting you to do the Facebook ads and all of that for me? What is the turnaround time for the packages?
So for the, the MLS listing, Facebook ads, turnaround time should be same day, within a few hours. If I'm able to get the information that I need, you know, right away, I think we can turn that around. Listing package, for something like that is probably about a day's turnaround time. If we get everything ready.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Here's the dirty little secret. Mike is doing nothing that you guys can't do through command. The truth is, it's leverage for you because we know most agents won't. And so when you take a listing, if you're not getting at least one more listing than a buyer, you're not doing it right. So he's going to leverage that stuff for you to do it, because what's happening right now is people are taking listings, going, woo, I got 3 offers in the first week and I didn't even do an open house. That's not great, right? You're taking a listing that's a huge leverage point for you to do open houses, meet new buyers, to run ads, to showcase your skills, to showcase everything you're doing, and we know agents aren't doing it. So there's nothing special, there's no secret sauce, it's all in your command. It's just a great leverage point for you to do it, take advantage of when you're busy and you're maybe not at a point where you have a full-time assistant or anything like that. Great leverage point in between there. So thank you, Mike. We're super excited for that. We're super excited to help you guys out. And he'll have a menu over by his desk if you guys will come by and check it out. When's the menu ready?
Later today.
Later today. So you can grab the little menu of services for you. All right. Mr. Mr. Cooper, our one and only, give a big round of applause. Mr. Cooper. It's just Scott. Thanks, Scott.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Before I get started, any Braves fans in here? How about
Braves?
Braves fans?
Dodgers fans.
Dodgers, baby!
Stand here, so Zoomers.
Giants. We got a Giants fan in here. We're gonna have to send him over to Remax.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to Braves fans. That's So, contracts. Wow. Where to start with this? I don't know. Where am I sitting? Okay. Who's read the new contract yet? Anybody? Any ahas, George?
Not that I can remember off the top of my head, I actually filled one out like 3 days ago.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My big aha was, man, it's bigger, but it's simpler.
Yeah.
That's, yes.
So guys, the new contract coming out in December is 16 pages long. That's the first.
Woo!
So that means on an average of every transaction, they're now cutting down 2 trees. Okay? Go figure.
Aha on the contract was that the HOA documents have to be ordered within the first 3 days. And we know that sellers take a really long time to give their credit card information and payment in order for you to adhere to that contract. So, of course, OnTrack Escrow will create a solution around that.
Love it, love it. No, and there's a lot of these changes, guys, and I am not going to sit here and go over all the changes with you.
Thank you.
Okay, I am not. All right, it's 16 pages long, and there's changes in there. I'll highlight some of them that agents have come to me and said, I like this, but you really need to take the time to read the contract. Then when you're done with that, reread the contract. Then read it again. I'm on my 8th time through the contract. Every time I go through it, I'm finding something new going, oh, that's gonna be a hornet's nest. Okay, every time, it hasn't changed. This is one example, 3 days for the HOA fees in the contract agreed to by buyer and seller. Guys, that's an issue. All right, that means when you list that house, guess what?
You gotta be proactive.
Better be ordering those HOA docs 2 weeks earlier.
Right.
Okay, that's no exaggeration.
We could put that into the listing agreement up front, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, but that's just one. That's just one example. So let's talk about what's the same. Okay, what remains the same? What do we not have to change? The transaction process itself, guys, is staying the same. It's business as usual. You still take an initial deposit, still loan application and verification, setting close escrow date, buyer investigation, and loan contingency remains the default in the contract. Items included, items excluded, there's been a change, but it's still here in the contract. Disclosures still need to be done. Closing of possession, still in the contract. Allocation of costs, still here. Final verification, still not contingent upon the sale, but it is in the contract. Definitions, I don't like where they put them in the contract, but they're still here. You have to look for them now, they're not at the
Not
end.
at the end.
And then electronic signatures are still acceptable, okay? So no big surprises there, it's still the same. There was a discussion for contingency removal to go back to passive. How many of us have been in real estate long enough to remember when it was passive removal for all contingencies? Anybody besides me?
I remember trying.
Yeah, I mean, we were putting wagons in circles to keep the Indians out back then, but that's what was happening. But active contingency removal process is remaining. So, you know, those that wanted to go back to passive, we defeated it, and it remains, we feel it's fair to both parties. Notice perform process remains the same, and that avoids surprises for cancellations. However, when I say it remains the same, I have to tell you there's a change. Notice perform is still 2 days, but so is demand to close. And you can't change it anymore in the contract. It's 2 days. So you're going to find little changes like that throughout the contract. You really need to study this and understand it. Mandatory mediation remains. It avoids potential cost and delay of adversary disputes and resolution. All right, so that's all the same. So what's new, and I gotta say better also, okay? You guys wanna know that stuff, what's new?
What's
Yeah.
better? Yeah. Tell
I
us.
Might be
have a
important.
question.
Okay,
You said that the notice to perform, and the demand to close, there's no choice?
there's no choice. It's 2 days and it stays 2 days. You
You
can't
cannot
change it.
change it to anything else?
Correct, it's flat 2 days. There's no.
And if if the demand was closed was sent and not executed, and the other party decided not, if the demand to close was sent but not executed,
Okay.
it's still a choice for the.
Right. Seller doesn't have to cancel.
Right.
They can make that
Doesn't
decision.
automatically cancel.
Yeah, they can make it, it's a
Just wanna
great
make
threat, great threat,
Yeah.
okay? So what's new, the format, and where's the Zoom camera? I don't know if they can see
Yeah,
the
they can
format.
see
Here,
it.
I'll make
Right
the,
there.
I'll make the big so they
Okay.
can see you.
All right. So what I'm showing is the second page, and you guys aren't gonna be able to see this. I'll have copies emailed out. But this is the second page of the contract. So pages 1, 2, and 3 all have this format. So this format is basically columns. Now, this is where all your contract is on the first 3 pages. It makes it very easy to go through it and look at it. And these, what happens is it gives you the paragraph within the contract that explains, so it makes it very easy I have a question, let's go look at the contract. It also, all your days are all on the end, so you can actually look through the contract, the first 3 pages, and not have to search and peck through the contract to find how many days do I have for contingencies, how many days do I have for this. It's all within those first 3 pages, and that's a huge plus, guys. It looks scary at first, but when you get in and start filling it out, it's much easier. All right? It's easier to read, easier to understand the grid format, and only liquidated damages, arbitration, and the counteroffer terms are at the end. Okay, so we still have to initial liquidated damages, arbitration. All right? There's no separate summary form needed to quickly find relevant terms. The grid is part of the contract. Increasing chance of substantive clauses will be reviewed. So what happens right now with the contract, there's places in the contract that people are hiding things, and busy listing agents don't look at pages 3, 4, and 5 of the contract. They look at page 1 and 2 and think, oh, that's everything, I'm done.
Right.
And then they get a big aha, 2 days before close of escrow.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, all right. So this is removing that. No fumbling around to find negotiation terms, reduced chance of missing something. No struggle to find detailed paragraph terms. Quick reference in grid makes it easy to direct the client without having to flip through the page after page. No surprises by hidden checkbox or inserted number change. Once again, that grid makes it real easy. And escrow's gonna love this. All right. All contingency periods default to the same time period. Changes are easy to identify. So let me say that again. All contingency periods default to the same time period. All right, what does that mean to you guys?
It's still the same as the previous one.
Yeah, they're all the same time frame?
They're all the same time period. What were they before?
Or different, like
17,
21, 17.
17 and 21 days. 21 days for the loan, 17 for everything else. They're now all 17 days,
Even the loan contingency?
even a loan contingency. So how many of you know a lender that can perform in 17 days? Okay,
Very few.
who?
It's cash.
Everyone.
KW Morgan.
KW Mortgage, who else?
Do we want with them right now?
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, you gotta pay attention to that, because it's all 17 days. You can change that, and I do recommend it. Okay? So, keep that in mind, because as you're filling out these contracts, it's defaulting at day 17. More space between lines and paragraphs and added subparagraphs for easier to read. which is why it's 16 pages. Clear designation of items included, separate addenda, not entire contract for mobile homes, probate sales, tenancies in common, and stock cooperatives and tenant occupied properties. So we're now using the same contract with an addendum that, you know, when you check the box, it's gonna automatically be attached. Okay, so you gotta love that. We don't have to learn 9 different contracts anymore. Reorganization of the paragraphs so they are logically grouped together, contingencies and disclosures, liquidated damages and arbitration. The order of paragraphs is not disjointed, it flows naturally, all right? The only thing I don't like, and it's my personal preference, and when you guys read it, I don't like where the definitions are, because used to be I go second last page, there they were, now it's in the middle of the contract. But we'll get used to it, right? Reorganization of signature paragraphs, easy to identify if subject to seller counteroffer or backup offer. The entity signatures are built in. It eliminates the need for the RCSD, guys.
That's good.
It's in the contract now. If you fill it out, you do not need the RCSD B, you'll need the S still, all right? But it's here for you, so fill that out. More space to avoid overlap of signatures on text and more spacing for long names. The real estate broker section, it's easier to identify if multiple agents, such as team or even co-brokerages. It's easier to identify electronic communications, such as email, address, and text numbers. All right? Now, for me, there's some risk management benefits, okay? For me, for Amy, for everybody. Visual impact and perceived real content changes may cause more licensees to get educated. All right? You guys are gonna have to read this contract. I mean, you have to, because there's no faking it now. You have to go through and read it because there's so many changes. And Amy's mentioned a couple, I've mentioned a couple. You have to read it. You're gonna get educated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. No shortcuts. No longer have to hunt and peck to find changes or be embarrassed or have to pay if you didn't. How many of you guys have had to pay for a mistake in a contract? You know, anybody besides me? Okay. It makes it easy to fix that. Recognize that most business practices anywhere in the state, we're all using the same contract now. Okay, did you know Northern California's been different than Southern California for a while? Same contract, but the practice was different. Now we're all in the same boat. All right, so it's all good. So AHAs, what I've heard from agents, I've heard it's easier to read and comprehend. Okay? I've heard it's, and you guys need to pay attention to this, please. The contract specifies what is left in the house and what is not left in the house. Okay, how many of you guys have had a house closed and the sellers had bathroom mirrors that were hanging in the bathroom? And it looked great when you walked through the house, but when it closed, those mirrors were taken. Anybody ever had that problem?
I had a chandelier taken.
Chandeliers. That's attached to the mirror. But the mirror is actually hanging there and is treated like a picture and can be taken.
Well, it's personal property in that case, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly, not anymore.
Wow, okay.
Now it stays. Ring doorbells, stay, it's clarified. Okay?
Well, they're
Nest
attached, to be
thermostats.
fair, they're attached anyway, right? They're screwed.
Yeah, the argument's always been they're attached, but how many of us have had to go out and spend a couple $100 and replace them?
Buying a replacement.
Yeah.
Same with Nest thermostat.
Nest thermostat, it's all listed in here now. So you guys need to pick, window coverings. What happens with window coverings right now? What?
It should stay.
No, the rods stay, but the curtains can go. But now, window coverings stay, even if it's a sheet taped to the wall.
Oh, yeah?
All right, they stay. All right? All right? Home warranty, the way we handle home warranty is changing, and I'm not gonna go into that. You guys need to understand it and talk to your home warranty reps. All right? But the whole process of how we order a home warranty is done differently in this contract. Okay? The get grid refers to the paragraph. Agents like that. The definition of broker and agent is defined in this contract. And I personally like that, you know? And then the RCSD not being needed was another big aha. Guys, I'm not gonna open this for questions. Mark's hand goes up. I'm gonna tell you to read the contract, all right? But Mark, go ahead.
RCSD you've referred to a couple times, just for someone that doesn't know what that means.
Oh, wow, now I gotta remember the definition, representative capacity signature disclosure.
It's if it's an entity.
Remember, for an entity, corporation.
Right, if it's a
But
corporate
it's still
entity
required
or
for
trust, then that's.
Yeah, it's for the seller. You'll still need it for the seller unless they change the listing contract, which, you know, look out for it. Okay?
Are we more excited for this change or less excited?
I love it. I absolutely love this, guys. I mean, this contract is, and I've been through several different contracts. When I started real estate, guys, the contract was half a page and you hand wrote it.
Was it on the stove?
I'm kidding. I got it right after the stove. No, seriously, when I started, it was 4 pages.
Wow.
The contract was 4 pages, and it was a monster, all right? Now it's 16 pages, and it's easier. You know, it really is. And you guys, once you read it, you fill it out a couple times, you understand it, you're gonna love this. But take that time to do it, okay?
And when does it kick in?
The estimated time frame is the second week of December. Okay, I've been told it will be up and running by the 15th, but they're talking about the second week in December. Okay? And keep in mind, it's still a fluid contract. It's not 100% ratified yet. So there may be changes still. You know, it's 99.9%, but there still may be a couple things changed. All right, we found some issues.
Is this gonna populate with the cover sheet?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's actually gonna populate better than
Better?
it does now.
Got it.
So, you know, because more forms will be added is the
Right.
process. All right? Okay. Garrett, all yours.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. So, a lot of guys, we ask a lot, you know, what do our yearly fees go to, our car and our fees, this is what they're doing, make our life simpler. I personally think it's a much better contract. It's all in the first 3 pages. It's very defined and clear, especially if you're a listing agent and you have 14 offers to look through. I think it'll speed things up. It's great. Thank you, Scott, for that. We appreciate it. Yep.
He said that he's gonna be going over that again on his class on Tuesdays at 1.
Yeah, we have it, yep. If you guys don't know, Tuesdays at 1, we have a contract class where Scott goes over all our contracts and stuff like that. And we'll also throw something else on the calendar. I know Mark has volunteered and to go over the contract in detail when we get closer to the date and we have the final version. Will be more information on that is to follow, okay? Like this. Scott, you got your drink up here still. I'm gonna take a sip of it. All right. So if you guys have been here, who's been here before 8 o'clock in the morning in the office? Few of us, right? What do we hear about 8 o'clock every morning?
Scripts.
Not just that, I hear warriors. I hear warriors screaming at the top of their lungs, doing affirmations, getting ready for the day, getting pumped up. War cries. I feel like they're about to go to battle, to war, and I get pumped up, right? And there is agents in here coming in every day, mastering the language of sales and mastering their scripts and dialogues. And as new agents, a lot of times, or even as experienced agents, we think it's just something to say. That's not true. There's very, they're put together with intention through NLP and through these other practices. There's reasons why their words are put the way they are. So we're going to have our own professional, our resident badass script master, the sensei of it all, Mr. J.D. Mora.
I'm a gladiator. I am warrior, gladiator. Winter's my season. Give me your fears, give me your limitations, I'll give you results.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so so I'll tell you a little bit about the class, and then we're gonna open it up for objections.
Yeah, we're going to do some objection handling.
Okay. So I've done scripts for a long time, and scripts is practiced in a lot of different ways. You have what's called role playing, you have script practice, you can practice the statements, you can practice the NLP, which is Neuro Linguistics Programming. If you practice the statements, it's more about all of the, more about the statements. So an example is, what's one we practiced today, Ken? It was foreclosures, right?
Yeah, it was, I'm just gonna wait for foreclosures.
Want to wait for foreclosures. And, the statement is, you can wait for foreclosures when they do come or don't come, but a good agent will find deals in any market. And I can find those today for you. That's the statement.
Yeah.
So you can practice that. That's what most agents do, is they practice the statements. You should, it's great. But if you want to take it to another level, you want to start practicing NLPs, called Neuro Linguistics Programming. It focuses on words that you can put into your statements. So instead of just saying that statement, you would say, I'm going to use the level shift. Level shift is taking what they say and transforming it into something that you can actually handle. So someone's like, I'm going to wait for foreclosures. So what I hear you saying is you want to find a good deal, right? So right there, the level shift was, what I hear you saying is you want to find a deal. So now I can change that, I want to wait for foreclosures, into my statement, which is, almost magically, an agent like myself, a seasoned agent, can find you deals in any kind of market. So if I can find that deal for you today, would you agree that's something you would want to know about? Let's meet for about 10 to 15 minutes so I can show you if we can do that. So in there I use tie downs, which is the word right? So a tie down is intended to get the client to easily agree with what you're saying. Tie downs are words such as right, does that work for you? Wouldn't that be great? Sound
like a plan.
What's that?
Sound like a plan.
Sound like a plan. We haven't practiced that one yet, but I can see how that'd be a tie down. Does that work for you? Won't that be great? Right, okay. You use those at the end of your sentence. But the class that we teach is 9 weeks, and each week has a different concept. So that's the NLP. That's kind of what the Script Warriors, that is what we focus on, is teaching you the NLPs along with statements. And each week there's a different concept. We have 23 people in our class. So if you're interested, reach out, let me know. I think at this time, we're just gonna open up to objections, right?
Yeah.
That's okay?
So now guys, we're in a interesting market, right? Is it shifting, is it not shifting, is it time of year? We have a little more inventory, we're expecting more inventory, we're balancing out, are we gonna go back? Our clients are now more confused than ever, and we are supposed to be our experts in what we do, right?
Right.
And experts in helping our clients know what's wrong. So we're hearing all sorts of crazy objections, but we have the expert right here with us. So let's open it up. What objections are you guys hearing for either buyers or sellers, your friends or family? What are you guys hearing that we could overcome?
I
Yes.
don't want to pay commission.
You don't wanna pay commission. Okay, so, Clara, what I hear you saying is you wanna net the most amount of money possible, and that's what I want for you as well. Let's go ahead and set up a meeting so I can show you how I can net you the most amount of money even after paying my commissions. Won't that be great?
That'd be great.
All right.
I don't think there's enough inventory on the market for me and my wife to find what we want.
Ken, what I hear you saying is that you and your family, you guys don't want to end up homeless. You want to make sure you find your next home to move into. And as a professional, that's what I can do. Allow me 10 to 15 minutes of your time, and I can go over the home buying process and show you how we got our last 3 buyers into their dream homes. Does that work for you?
Ooh, that does work for you, right? That's pretty good. Tiffany raised her hand.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a buyer that, they're tired of fighting,
Ah, yeah.
and they haven't even put in an offer. The last house only had 3 offers, and they're like,
Oh, no,
bidding
yeah.
war. So bidding war is my,
Bidding war. So, I mean, in this case, you could use reverse questions to dig a little bit deeper on why it's frustrating, but just to put it simply, a statement like, hey, I understand where you're coming from, no one likes to get into a bidding war, but whether you like it or not, all homes in any kind of market, they're gonna sell for top dollar, you're gonna be competing. So let's discuss strategy to make sure you're putting your best foot forward to get you in your dream home. Would that work for you? It's the truth. In any kind of market, you're gonna be competing.
yeah.
The good ones always
Any
sell
great
fast and
home.
for top dollar.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Also, I would leverage the market. So it's like, the concept is, I think it's automatic presuppositions, creating a timeline. or creating a scenario. So it's like, I understand you want to take some time, you're getting frustrated with the market. My concern is if you choose to wait, then with the continuing home prices rising, you might not even be able to buy a house in the next couple months. So I just created a scenario. If you wait, you might get outpriced.
I like that.
Rising rates too is another one.
Yeah, rates are going up, prices aren't jumping down right away.
Mm-hmm, if and then.
Yeah. What does it
Anything else?
cost you to wait?
I'm already working with an agent.
All the time.
Oh, man.
Hey, you know what? It's good that you know an agent. You know, there's so many of us, I'm surprised you don't know more of them. And I wouldn't want to get in the way of you working with a good agent. I would, however, like for you to have the opportunity to have an apples to apples comparison between agents, so you can make a decision on who's going to work best for you. Does that work for you?
Ooh, yeah.
That was good.
JD, I have a cousin,
Mm.
Buford,
Buford.
okay? And he is a real estate agent.
Yes.
So
Top notch.
why would I go with you when I got my cousin? He might give me a discount.
I'm going to give you two. If you decide to work with your cousin, Wendell, and a problem comes up, Thanksgiving won't be the same, right? But, and again, automatic, if and then, creating a scenario. But what I would say is, Wendell, hey, you know what? I definitely understand. I'm glad you're a loyal person. You owe your family loyalty. You owe me nothing, but you owe yourself the best absolute service, right?
That's right.
So let's take 10 to 15 minutes to make sure you're not missing anything. Worst case, at the end of the meeting, you have a little bit more information that you started with in the beginning. And you can take that and use it with your cousin. Does that work?
Yeah, that works for me.
Cool.
Right.
Gotta get you a partner.
But if he goes with you instead of Buford, Thanksgiving's not gonna be the same.
JD, I want to sell on my own. This is a hot market, and my neighbor next door, they got, what they asked for, and I'm gonna do that too.
So Isabel, it sounds to me like you want to make sure you net the most amount of money, and that's what I want for you as well. We are in a hot market, and it's very easy to find a buyer, but the top three things that sellers that sold their home on their own had challenges with. Number one, how to set up viewings and being available, screening buyers, navigating an escrow, and then handling challenges. See, by using a professional like myself, I do all the heavy lifting, and I net you more money than you would on your own. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yes, David.
How do you deal with everybody currently doing the refis? So you own your house, you just refied, now you owe more than you did before, and you should have pulled the trigger before, but you're past that now.
Well, I would use reverse questions to find out more information on what your motive is,
Yeah.
right? So tell me more about that. What made you decide you want to sell your home in today's market?
Well, that was my question, is if I had this much equity yesterday, before I did the refi, now I have less equity because I just did a refi.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had to pay for the loan, so now I wanna just sit on my house, I don't wanna sell it anymore. How do you get around that? And so many people did refis currently.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just like, I love the people that do the refis,
That's it.
especially if they're doing cash out refis.
Yeah.
And what are they spending that money on? Is it something that's gonna go on their balance sheet as on the asset side or the liability side, right? So I would then, I'd ask the question about what does that look like, using that money to go ahead and purchase a property, a rental property, and getting your feet wet in there. Over time, right now, the market is crazy, sellers and all of that. I'm in escrow on 2 properties. I'm the buyer on 2 properties. Because I think the best time to buy is right now. Yesterday, it was yesterday. That was the best time. The day before, it was the day before. Because over time, it will always pay you.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
There you go.
It really doesn't matter.
Property.
Best time to buy is when you can.
Great is an investment, escrow, sorry. Having real estate is an investment. So no matter what, it's always a great time. So if they're going to refi because the interest rates are great, then you should buy because the interest rates are great.
There's mine.
Yeah, I would use reverse questions to dig deeper,
Right.
to find out really what we're talking for a reason.
Right.
What was it? What were you considering? Were you
Is there
investing?
another motivation that you can find?
Motivation, pain, one of those two.
JD, I think the market's gonna crash, so I wanna wait.
You know what, there's a lot of speculation going on right now, George, and we really don't know what's gonna happen in the future. If I had a crystal ball, I'd be sipping a pina colada on the beach somewhere. But what I do know is we have opportunities in today's market to find a good deal. And that's where I want about 10 to 15 minutes of your time to show you how a seasoned agent like myself can find those deals today. Won't that be great?
Awesome, yes.
Can I just point out a quick aha with JD is, in every one of his scripts, what he has a purpose for what at the end? Setting an appointment, right? And when your scripts are no objective at the end, if your objective is just information, you're gonna just get information, right? His objective is always to set the appointment, right? Always going for set the appointment, and he makes it seem like, well, yeah, like, why wouldn't I set the appointment? I didn't have an option there, because it would be dumb if I didn't, because what he just said, right? So
Yeah.
just notice that in his language, it's very purposeful.
A lot of agents like to answer or like try to resolve everything over the phone. They want to sound like that professional. And it does more harm than good. Sometimes you go down a path that you can't get out of. The other thing is, we should be setting up consultations, whether it's buying or selling. You should be setting up consultations because number one, anyone that's willing to meet with you, they're serious. Number two is before you start to advise someone, you need to find out what their needs are. You wouldn't call your doctor and be like, hey, I have a pain in my chest, my left arm or my right arm's going numb, what do you think? And he says, take some Advil, you'll be fine. You wouldn't do that, right? Why would you do that with real estate? Why would you allow your client, to try to solve their problems over the phone? Bring them in for a consultation, build rapport, have them sign an agreement, and then give them the information. The moment you start getting info to them, you're working. Get paid for it. Secure a contract. Plus, as a professional, you'll do your job a lot better.
Right.
That make sense?
And you'll be prepared.
And you might say that you might give them the wrong information over the phone because you didn't know enough stuff, and then they find someone else that did what I would do, and I get the agreement signed. Anything else?
Right here.
Yeah,
I'm prospecting agents. What makes me think that you can help?
You're interviewing multiple agents?
Yes,
Are you a buyer or a seller?
I'm a buyer.
Okay.
I'm a seller,
Okay. So, hey, you know what? It's really, I'm sorry, what was your name?
Zavon.
Zavon. I know we've met. Zavon, you know what? It's what I hear you saying is you want to make sure you're going to make the right decision moving forward. Or what I sense is you want to make sure you're picking the right agent. What makes me different from all the other agents is what I call the fourth P. Most agents put a sign in the front yard, put it on the MLS, and they pray for a buyer. I do all three, including the fourth P, which is proactive activities that drives leads to your house on a daily basis. And that's what I want to take about 15 to 20 minutes of your time to go over and show you. That's actually Diana Kokoska.
Bold right there, baby.
Yeah, bold.
Can you say that one more time? Honestly, because I'm fairly new, but I've had that question.
You
It
should
comes
go
up
to
all
your
the time.
scripts.
Yeah, I can do you one better. I can email it to you. I have it.
8 a.m.
Four P's of
8
real
a.m.
estate.
8 a.m. sharp.
If you don't practice it daily, don't even practice it at all.
Yeah.
All right.
The worst thing is to have an objection and have nothing to say.
Yeah.
And believe
You
me,
know,
it
sometimes-
happens. You get the deer in the headlights and you're like, okay, next.
They say cheesy sometimes,
Alright.
but it's better than being like, okay,
You gotta
and walk
You're
away.
the speaker, Ken, right? So you know I'm public speaking. When you don't know the answer, what do you say? There's a
Something.
reply.
You say
to
something.
You can just say, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Great question.
And it gives your brain a second to go, oh yeah, I remember what JD said. Just have, that's a great question.
Or you can repeat the question.
Repeat that process.
What I hear you saying, what you said, like.
Yeah, that's the level shift. That's the easiest one to refer to. What I hear you saying, what I sense is, the real issue is, what you really want is taking what they say and morphing it into something, gives you time to think.
That's really great though, because it makes them feel like you're engaged in what they're saying and you want to resolve their problem.
I think we're short on time, guys.
Yeah,
Anything else?
we are running out of time there. Go
I
ahead.
just want to say something about JD, your NLP.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to let you know, I took NLP through MAPS, and I at the time, I believe it was $799. I did that with through MAPS, and it is an awesome, awesome course, so.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and we could come and get that every morning at 8 o'clock with
Right.
the script class, but there is some accountability to that class. You can't just show up once.
Yeah,
You gotta commit.
And it is pulled from the MAPS coach. It's from the MAPS coaching class.
Monday through
Friday
Friday,
we teach.
8 o'clock.
And if you couple that with Toastmasters.
Yeah, baby.
On Monday night from
Yes.
6:30 to 8, which is like $100 a year, you'll be a lethal weapon.
You will be the most lethal expert ever in your
Yeah.
language.
Absolutely.
You want to, my email is jdmora@kw.com. So if you want some scripts, I can email them to you. Just email me.
Can we give it up for JD for being here? One thing I want to point out with JD as well, guys, is the scripts you learn, they can be used in multiple situations. There's going to be 5 to 6 scripts that are in your head, and almost any objection, you could go that way with it, right? So you'll learn as you practice, when these objections come up, you'll have your go-to that you go to every time, that you feel comfortable with, and at least you'll have one way to steer the conversation, and practice, 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 practice. Every day, 8 o'clock. Thank you, JD, so much. We appreciate you. We are about out of time, so let's spin the wheel, have some fun here at the very end. I'm messing up here. There, I was on the right one. There we go. All right, we got a couple names that we are going to be next week. So there's people in the classroom that are going to be like, wait, I gave you one. Remember, it's for the following week. We got a couple names to spin the wheel. Is MJ not here? She was. No, I saw her earlier. She's missing out. And then Kenny had a special arrangement with me because he gave me a great lead, and he asked me when he gave me the lead, he said, I'm gone next week on vacation. When I get back, can I come spin the wheel? And I said, only because you're awesome and I love you. And he gave me 2 leads pretty quickly. So here's the rules, Kenny.
Twins.
You gotta get it around. One time, spin it good. All right? And, make it look good. $100.
Here we go.
100. The universe.
You waited 2 weeks.
The universe said 1. You should have said 100. 101.
You got 100 cents.
You only 2 zeros, okay?
It's so close, guys. It's so simple. How do we do this? How do we get to come spin this? Give me the lead. Give me a lead, right? How do we give me a lead?
Piece of paper.
Pink sheet. The pink sheet. Where do I find the pink sheets?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It's my office. Right there. Right there on the counter. Pink sheets. Fill them out. The agent has to be in production and also know I'm calling. You can't just write down random people's names. All right? Can't be like, oh, you should get Ferris. Like, yeah. He's got to know I'm calling. Right? How does that work? You say, what's a great, Kid, can you give us an example of how you gave me the lead?
Yeah, I called them and I said, you know what? I had a great experience with you guys. We closed an escrow. You accepted my client's offer, and I'm going to name you my agent of the month. So if you don't mind, my broker's going to call you and thank you for being such a great person to work with.
And guess what we did? We called. We had a great conversation. And guess what else we did? We sent them a book. And we sent them a thank you card in the mail. And guess what we did? We put them up a follow-up plan in our leadership 8x8 plan. And guess what? They're on my track line to follow up with them. And the dollar's fun, but what's the real prize, right?
Profit share.
Profit share, forever, as we get them to join eventually. It's that simple. If someone names you as a sponsor, you get to come up and spin. It's a lot of fun, guys. This is silly, this is gimmicky, but what am I doing?
You're bringing attention to it.
And I'm rewarding the behavior.
Right.
Yes.
What do you do when someone gives you a lead?
You back them.
You reward the behavior.
Right.
Maybe don't make them spin a wheel, maybe just send them a gift card, but this is fun. I'm rewarding the behavior, and I'll be honest, I've gotten more leads in the last 2 months from this silliness than I've gotten since being a team leader.
Maybe our minimum
It works.
should be $5.
Maybe $5, but then your soda's there. So, real quick, we are totally out of time, and I do want to respect your guys' time. We have one more thing to do. I will jump through it real quick. Next week we have, all the buttons, because I don't know the buttons. Next week, guys, we have Mega Camp Ahas. We're going to have a few people going over the Mega Camps. Then Sam Murphy is going to be going over the state of the industry. Guys, Sam is our founding operating principal. He was one of our original owners that started Keller Williams. He's going to be talking about the state of the industry and where it's going. And we'll be talking about some ahas. So if you have some great ahas you'd like to share, make sure you're there. We'll also have some of our ALC members and top agents sharing their ahas from Mega Camp. It's It's going to be a great time. Next week, same place, same time. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you then. And you missed my great story about a sensei, but we'll do that next week. Thanks, guys. You what? Yeah, take it with you? I'll be honest, the 100's fake, but the rest of it's real. I trust you guys.
Is that what happened?